Hi, the Mark called us Cinema. My name is Aaron, and tonight's a special night. It's kind of a combination of a journey that we've had over the last few months. So, here in the Cult Cinema, what we're doing this year is the year of the cinephile. The year when we look at some very important, very incredibly fantastic, and enriching films. If you've been watching me in the last little while, you've noticed that, hey there, Alan, I've been really looking into Imprint as a company. I initially had ordered the Halloween box set. When that changed, the packaging stuff that I ended up like having to cancel that order. I'd also ordered a Black Friday order. I'd only ordered from Imprint actually for Black Friday. It was a company that really kind of intrigued me, and my work at last. It's a new fault with theirs actually. Not only did Imprint resend me the order, but they resent me the order to a different address, not just a different address down the road, but a different address in a different country. I was impressed, but I was nervous. I'd lost my first order. I didn't want to lose my second one. Now, if you just want to see the unboxing part of it, that's it. I will have a pre-taped unboxing video up on the channel sometime tomorrow. But if you want to interact with us, then we're going to do the unboxing live, and I'm going to chat about it a bit more and in more detail. I got 3 box sets. I'm going to do them in spine order. And hey there, Rafe, welcome, man. I'm very excited about these. I'm actually really excited about these. I want to talk about them because there's things that I want to focus on. Pun intended, actually, that I think that I didn't know when I was picking these up, that I'm glad I know now. Because there's a couple of these here where they're out on Criterion as well, and I would be tempted to double dip because I do like the films. So let's start with the first set that I got. And hey, they're very welcome, man. Tales of Adventure sets. I'm really interested in the Western sets coming up soon. Let me just grab something else. So, as anybody knows, when you get these here sets, each of them has a card that talks about stuff. So the first one looking at came out in 2023. There's a 2023, 2024, and 2025 box set. Hey there, Alvin, man. These were just completed on January 10th. Giant Crimson, congratulations, man, and welcome. You are very much appreciated. We're going to be looking into a lot of stuff this year. I'm very excited about the Canadian Criterion hunts we're going to be doing. And hopefully I'll be pre-ordering a couple Criterions, or ordering a couple Criterions to meet me at the door when I get in Canada sometime in the next couple of days, hopefully. So starting out, the first box set is spine number 274 to 279. Hey, there's Cinematech. What we're looking at is Film Focus Marlon Brando Volume 1. I really desperately need to get Volume 2 as well. But there's some incredible films on here. We're going to look at all of them. And I love the way these sets are done. And I love this here. As the guy who's going to act, the Scorsese quote is extremely true, especially if you study acting. It was the marker. There's before Brando and after Brando. I can't imagine any words being said by a director truer than this. So when you open it up, got that pyramid, I like to call it. And this here, the spines are really going to be like colorful. I kind of liken it to Eureka and their spines, with Master Cinema spines. Running Scared to be a good film, actually. We start off with Cyanera. Now, this one here, I think, this Cyanera itself as a film, I think it's out of print because I'm pretty sure this was put out initially by Twilight Time in North America. And it's probably, there's some pretty bangers in this box set. This was probably the most like successful film out of these here. And it's going to surprise you when you hear some of the other stuff. But this one actually did pretty well, actually. And initially, they weren't actually going to use they're going to take somebody from and just kind of do the whole, like, not blackface, front blackface type of thing with a white actress. And Brandon was not cool with that. Hey, they're welcome, man. What we got here is a 1080p high-def presentation from a 2K scan. What's new on here, by the way? There's new commentary from Matthew Asperger. Got the archival commentary, well, not archival, again, it's 2023 commentary, with Stuart Gilbert IV, including interviews with John Waxman, the son of Franz Waxman, who worked on the post of the film. Yayoi Winfrey, director of War Brides of Japan from 2023. And isolated score and effect. Oh, yeah, this is definitely Twilight Time. because isolated score and effects track is a Twilight Time staple. And a technical trailer. I'll open it up. I love the fact there's like art on the inside, like picture. These little things really, really help out. Of course, that is number 274. Next up, we have 275. That is The Fugitive Kind. Now, what's neat is this was put out by Criterion as well. And something you should know, hopefully they do their Randall set, is that these here, the features on these are not the same as the features on the Criterion set. In fact, they're radically different. You could buy both and not really have many features crossover. That really impressed me. So this, of course, is based off of the Tennessee Williams play Orpheus Descending. And I'm a big Tennessee Williams guy, so it's a fun one for me. This didn't do as well as it should have, actually, when it came out. New Wave Australia got Rubber Bands, Lover, and Sir. Oh, cool. This is a 1080p from a 4K restoration. A auto commentary with critic Adrian Martin. Collaborations directing brand new interview with William J. Mann. And a serial menagerie with Daniel Cronner and Nats Segaloff discussing Tennessee Williams on film. I'm actually really interested in that because, as I said before, I'm a Tennessee Williams freak. All the starkness of this picture right here. Brando in these days was the epitome of cool, like a Steve McQueen or Arthur Fonzarelli, for those that remember that. Also on the Criterion collection, number 278, spine number in Imprint, is One-Eyed Jacks. This movie got blasted back in the day, and it's an incredible film, actually, with a great cast, including Marlon Brando, of course, because it's his set, and the insanely underrated Carl Malden, who not enough people talk about. He's incredible, actually. Ben Johnson's in this one as well. For you horror fans, Ben Johnson would go on to be in Terror Train as a conductor. The original, not the remake. The remake was a Newfoundland actress. A 1080p from a 4K scan. We got Toby Rowan doing audio commentary here. He's author of 1,000,000 Feet of Film on One-Eyed Jacks. Authentic Death, Pursuing One-Eyed Jacks documentary. Hugo Friedhofer that goes west, scoring One-Eyed Jacks. Surviving Billy the Kid. Promoting One-Eyed Jacks photo gallery and documentary trailer. I like the Infernal Affairs. I'm still rocking the DVD set from Infernal Affairs. I got to pick up there. Can you imagine if Kubrick would have? Can you imagine the fights? Can you imagine what it would have been like if Kubrick would have directed this? Again, another incredible. I love the pictures that I choose for these. We're off to the fourth one. It is an Eastman color. We got our first one. And spine number 277, it is The Ugly American, with Marlon Brando and Pat Hingles in this one as well, Arthur Hill. Great one here. We got a 1080p from a 2K scan, auto commentary by Scott Harrison, newsreel from the world premiere in 1963 in Bangkok. I'll get the Zedici Criterion set. There's not a film in this that I'm going to show you out of these three sets that I don't want to actually sit and watch right now. The presentation from Imprint is second to none. My better half, who doesn't get impressed easy with this stuff, actually, she's very jaded with stuff. Actually, got insanely impressed. All right, so the next one is number 278, and this is a very special one for me because it was remade not once but twice. But the first remake is considered iconic. The remake was so close to the original film that often some people refer to it as a shot-for-shot remake. I don't actually think it's a shot-for-shot. There's some changes, that's for certain. But tell me if you know what it is before I say it. This is Bedtime Story, starring Marlon Brando, David Niven, and Shirley Jones. This would get remade in the late 80s with three other actors. and we get remade again more recently with basically with the change like from the two guys to two girls. It's got a 1080p 2K scan, audio commentary with film historians Lee Pfeiffer, Tony Latino, and Paul Scrabo, and it's got a theatrical trailer. I'll read you the small, like, right up on the film and see if you can guess what it is. Caddies Freddie Benson enjoys setting up elaborate ruses to seduce women. Suave Lawrence Jameson likes to pose as a prince to swindle the wealthy. When the two men meet, each perceives the other as an interloper and a threat. It is Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Very much is Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. And you can kind of tell by the picture right there. Obviously, Marlon Brando is playing the Steve Martin part, and David Evans playing the Michael Caine, or vice versa. Do I like Brando and Superman? Always seem like he's phoning it in. I would agree with you, actually. Yeah, he is pretty much phoning it in with Superman. But Brando's phoning it in is better than a lot of people's like full-fledged all-on acting. I know that Chris Reeve at the time, he was a bit disappointed because Brando was like somebody they idolized a lot, and he didn't feel like Brando was giving it his all. When Chris Reeve come from like soap operas and really understood the weight of what he was doing. But there's like there's an aspect of it too, where Chris Reeve was playing Superman. This was his first big role. The weight was on him. He was giving it's A+ game. Brando had been around for a while. This was late in the game for Brando. It wasn't as daunting. So I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't fault Brando for maybe not taking the role as seriously as Reeve had. But good point, actually. Last but not least, a Charlie Chaplin film. Well, he wrote and directed it. That is A Countess from Hong Kong. It actually stars Sophia Loren. And it's got a small role for Chaplin there. Also, we got Tippi Hedren and Sidney Chaplin in there as well. You got Mark Rutherford, who a lot of you guys know if you're a fans of Agatha Christie, because she played not the first, but the first famous, very comedic Miss Marple. We've got a 1080p 2K scan here, audio commentary from film historians Lee Pfeiffer, Tony Latino, and Paul Scaravo. Audio commentary by Jeffrey Vance, the Chaplin biographer. We also have an interview with actor Michael Medwin, a Countess for a Day interview with actress Carol Cleveland, The End of the Gold Rushes interview with assistant director Brian Sinclair, Chaplin's Last Chapter interviews with the crew, vintage promotional film from 1967, and theatrical trailer. It's really. Just watch. Next shows come out on Criterion. Different features. An interesting one, actually. I know they recently put out, I could be wrong, it was on the Cinematheque, A Woman of Paris, right? Which is a fantastic film. Highly, highly underrated film. But if you haven't checked it out, I really recommend that you do. It's a ladder work, and Chaplin's like shining in the lead. Now he's deft hand as directing as he is with acting in front of the camera. It's absolutely a fantastic film. For those who want to see what the card looks like, it's right here. Luckily, these cards fit inside. I go from my first film focus set. For those that aren't aware, this is my first film focus. It's a series that Imprint does. To a directed by set. Because you see, oh no, I want to get that one actually. What Imprint did for Black Friday is they put in a directed by and a film focus set together for less than the cost of one of the sets. There's some bangers on that, like a second set that I really want. We got here directed by John Farrow, of course, the father of the famous actress Mia Farrow. It is numbers 301 to 305. We got the quote here. A great movie director is a writer with a camera. I deliberately said it to become the damnedest best writer, director in the business. Then you can get some measure of respect and authority from the Hollywood studio bosses. And little by little, you get to do more of the things you want to do. And I did. Hit Santa, right? By the way, these are nice hard boxes, by the way. As Steph would say, Steph Crawford, pass the knock test. Here, we get some colorful ones right here. Stubby, Stubby, Stubby. He's like, you doing the thing the cat does. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Stubby, Stubby, and sweetie, descend, descend. He's looking in the mirror at himself and attacking. Spy number 301 is, and I love the covers on these, by the way. Commando Strikes at Dawn. This is a gorgeous freaking cover. John Farrell's Australian, by the way, and I did not know that. This is a pretty bare bones release here with just a 1080p high def presentation. But considering, the film done in 1942, I think I'll forgive that. We get a nice black and white scan of the film here. English language and English language subtitles. Oh, cool. It's always got the nice crisp picture right there. It's off the war film this time. This one's kind of cool, actually. Hey, Ted Rizzaro, welcome, man. Wow, okay. I assume you're kind of joking because of the fact that I'm always ranting on about when people say that. Oh, yeah. This is not just a cool World War II exploitation film. An exploitation, propaganda film. And probably exploitation, too. Kind of fits into both. It's one that was done in 1944. So when everything was still fresh in your mind, when everything was still going on. It's a 1080p high-def presentation here. We got an auto commentary by Daniel Kremer and Alan Arkish, 2024, when the set came out. Master of Invention, video essay by filmmaker and critic David Carnes. We got A Rise of a Dictator, Teaching Custodians Educational Film from 1944. Oh, hell yeah. They should make a Sam Fuller, another film. I got a Sam Fuller set from Indicator, right? And I had the previous, like, Sony Pictures Fuller set that came out back then on DVD, so I upgraded to the Imprint. So the Indicator, one, but that set there was based on mostly the films that Sam Fuller had written before he became a director, and then I got into some of his directing work. So there's lots of places to go Fuller. But this is intriguing the hell out of me. It's number 302. That is sadly true. Because a lot of them don't need it. Mm-hmm. Look at this. Yeah, I'm really intrigued with this one, actually. Because the time period it's in, too, it's pretty incredible. Okay, the most famous one in this set, and probably one of the most famous films that Farrell ever did, is next. Most of you that know older cinemas are going to know this one. This is going to be the one that you know out of all these here. It's The Night Has a Thousand Eyes, of course, with Edward G. Robinson. It's an absolutely fantastic film. And if you haven't seen it, I recommend that you see it as soon as possible. It's really, really good. Robinson plays this fake psychic that suddenly gets actual psychic visions that he can't change. Absolutely incredible set. The Fuller set, by the way. 1080p high def presentation. We got a audio commentary by critic Imogen Sarah Smith. Author's Prerogative, which is biographer Marilyn N. Moss on John Farrell's films and the life that made them, 2024. And the screen director's Playhouse Night Has a Thousand Eyes, radio version from 1949. Oh, you really got to see. This is a really good film, by the way. Look at that. It's just so crisp and evocative, you know? Virginia Bruce, William Demarest, John Lund, Gail Russell. Just an amazing, amazing film. We go from that. Though they do actually, but it's on the paper, like on the plastic wrap on the outside. So you like it's taken off when you actually take the plastic wrap. And it's very much a good thing. Not many people really actually like enjoy those big ass like age certificates. Now some of these here do have booklets, these don't. And for me it doesn't, like because there's enough on here. And we'll get into that, David, as we go through the set. That you're okay with it. Trust me, you will be. So, Submarine Commando with William Holden, insanely underrated writer, by the actor. By the way, I'll get it right when he says. William Bendix is in this one, Nancy Olson, and Don Taylor. We got a 1080p restoration from a 4K scan, done by Paramount Pictures. Audio commentary with Lee Pfeiffer, Tony Latino, and Paul Scarabello from 2024. A Weapon Called Style, author Jeremy Arnold on John Farr's Warriors and Combat Films. Really want to check that out. And because I love me some cool radio stuff. Lux Radio Theater's Submarine Commando, done in 1952 with actor William Holden in the lead. Very intrigued by that. Oh, William Holden kills it in Wild Bunch, man. Wild Bunch is such a good film. We got two more. Well, one more John Farrell, and one more in here I'm very excited about. So first up, we got the adventure film Botany Bay with Alan and James Mason. It's got a 1080p restoration, auto commentary by Daniel Kremer and David Duval in 2024, and his kind of director, filmmaker Joe Dante, on the artistry of John Farrell. John Farrell's getting a lot of love in this set. They really did a good job this set. We're into the swashbuckler type, and for those that know me, you know Captain Blood is one of my favorite films. I love good swashbuckler. I know I've seen this one. I don't remember it that well. I love when I can go back and see a film new again. And one thing that really intrigued me is this one right here. John Farrell, Hollywood's Man in the Shadows. The stories he told are remarkable. The secrets he kept are incredible. Isn't that a wonderful tagline? It's an amazing tagline, isn't it? It's a documentary, so it's got the listing of the year like they always do up there. What it doesn't have, though, because it is a documentary in that box set, it is not numbered. That's why it's 301 to 305. The unnumbered one is the documentary. I like that they did that, actually. The disc right here. It's John Farrell. It's a 1080p high-def presentation here. Interview with filmmakers Franz Vanderberg and Claude Gonzalez. We got Botany Bay and Plunder the Sea sequences in this film. The Big Clock with Joe Dante, which is probably, another incredible film by Farrell. It's very famous, actually. I'd really, Monty Hellman's Blue, like Tulane Blacktop, is a fantastic film. I love it, actually. Get the original crowdfunding investment teaser for this one right here as well, and the original trailer. It's an amazing release. This is my first directed-by set from Imprint. It definitely won't be my last. Not if I have anything to say about it. This is really remaking me, I'm rethinking the whole idea of maybe getting some this later in the year. As always, there's the card that goes with it. I'll put that up in the front. That's right. If you think I didn't hear a comment about the Carol Baker set, I did. I saw it. I didn't hear it. I'm not insane. They do some amazing covers. The reason I didn't comment on it at the time is because I got it in my hand. The Film Focus Carol Baker set was not part of the Black Friday bundle. It was on sale, but not in the, not the way this was. This was the other one that I picked out on my own. The bundle was put together for those two box sets. I just really wanted those two sets too, and the fact they were on a great price for the bundle was a bit of a plus. This one here I picked out myself, and I love Carol Baker. if you know me, then you're going to know that one of my favorite sets that Sarah never put out was the Roberto Lenzi Carol Baker set. And that set, this is kind of the prequel to that set. I'll explain it in a second, actually. See, Carol Baker, been a pretty popular and famous actress in Hollywood. I do like Quadrophenia, yeah. I actually got to pick that up again. I used to have that on DVD, but I don't have it anymore. I bought a Blockbuster when Blockbuster was still around. Stubby, that's my boy. Anyway, so a movie on the set, which we'll get to, was the reason that she left Hollywood and went to Italy and started making those really great giallos, actually. But look at this here. This is gorgeous. Life seems to be a never-ending series of survivals, doesn't it? Absolutely stunning Carol Baker. This is number 416 and 418 in the Imprint collection. Hey, Adam, welcome, man. I will soon be in Canada, actually. Just 2.5 weeks. Looking forward to going to Sunrise when I get there. That sounds so familiar. So we start off with Something Wild, which is number 416. Because a 1080p 2K restoration, along with author and film scholar Forrest Hirsch on Something Wild. This is done in 2025. This is like a bit dark, actually. I actually got these here. Came into Paris. It's like one of his best friends actually lived in Paris, and we got them delivered there, and she brought them over when she came. It's very important to see in the film. If you know, you know. Now, if you pick up something like the Jennifer Connelly set, for instance, that one does have a pretty big booklet in there, and a lot of the more later, like Imprint sets do. But these here really do focus on the films themselves. Number 417 with these are region. I'm pretty sure these are all region free. Most of like Imprint stuff, Adam, are unless like really noted, are usually like region, same as Umbrella, right? Region free, region ABC. So we got Carol Baker and of course George Maharis, who a lot of you guys are going to know from like, you know, come on. Now the title song for Sylvia was done by Paul Anka, who I'm actually a fan of. It's 1080p from a 4K restoration. Author and film scholar Forrest Hirsch on Sylvia. Got Legally Blonde interview with Lucy Bolton. And Osiris Supreme decoding the screen persona of Carol Baker video essay by Daniel Kremer. A lot of stuff on there. Exactly, Rafe. A wonderful cover right here for that. And again, he's from West Side Story, but in case you guys didn't know, I think you can tell right here, though. And he would go on to do, well, he would be in the Vinegar Syndrome collection as well, because he did a vampire film that Vinegar Syndrome put out. Gorgeous cover, by the way. Last but not least, especially for me, the film that unfortunately got Carol Baker taken out of Hollywood. It didn't do well. I absolutely adore this film. It's cheesy in all the most best wonderful ways. It truly is that type of film that you expect to see, especially from such a big persona that she's playing, an actual person. See, this is Harlow. Harlow stood for only one thing, as no woman ever has before or since. It's a bit of a mess for tagline. The film itself is a bit of a mess. Excuse me, sometimes. It's a great cast. You got like Martin Balsam, Red Buttons, Michael Connors, Angela Lansbury, Peter Lawford, Rafe Ballone is in this film. Carol Baker is Harlow. I think it's great casting, by the way. Got a 1080p from 4K restoration. Foster Hirsch, of course, is talking about Harlow on here. And Carol Baker looking back, a career spying interview with Carol Baker from 2011. Satan Bug. I totally forgot Satan Bug. Good call, by the way, Vinny. I love the way this is. Like, there's so much like space right here where it could have gotten busy, right? But they don't do that. It's just stark, and you're drawn to Carol Baker's Harlow. It takes center stage. The cover itself is kind of like a pulpy novel, like airport novel you'd find anyway traveling somewhere, especially back in the day. This is the only one of the three that's in color. The other two are got some nice black and white. I don't have separate tabs. I should check it out. This is probably considered the worst film of the ones that I got here. With that being said, I really do find this film entertaining. I enjoy it a lot. I love these films. And for me, my first big Imprint order, I'm insanely impressed by it. The way they did the packages, the way they got back to me, it was frustrating. So like, you're trying to get some of this stuff out of the way, and like, I've been sure if it's going to go through. For those that don't know, I did manage to Imprint really quickly got me back my my refund. They had it done on their side. It took me a few days later to do it on my side. This is the tight box. I'm sorry. No, this one's not going to fit in there. Most of the time these fit in there, but I will say this one here is kind of tight. You can see right there. Look. There's really no give, which is unusual because these most of the time always fit in. So I guess let's see if I can get them all at the same time. I'll wait a long time for this, but I finally got it. I'm so excited. My better half probably was like totally brother was not happy so much with Imprint, and other said, you know, she was impressed with this set. She's impressed with all the sets. I got Romans Bleeding from Twilight Time actually before these, you know, when they were selling out. Great film. Deep Cover is a magnificent like Criterion release, which I can recommend. And The Craze is just a fantastic film. Romans Bleeding is amazing. I've got the Twilight Time one upstairs actually. It was part of my final Twilight Time order. Eventually, Screen Archives kind of took them over, but really, it really never took from Screen Archives. Like I don't know if Screen Archives is even still doing it or not, but it seemed like they're gone afterwards. You need to see, you do need to see The Craze. It's a great film. I remember I was a fan of like Carry On films, and in being so, I was a fan of Barbara Windsor. So I was also obviously an EastEnders fan too. And Barbara Windsor actually dated one of the Craze. So there's my 3 Imprint sets. Film Focus on Brand New Volume 1, directed by John Farrell, and Film Focus by Carol Baker. Let's take a look at the Imprint website for a minute, and let's dream about what I could in the future maybe pick up in another sale. Hustler Car Money. I don't know if I want a third one though, because I'm often worried that third one's going to like tip it over. It's not going to be as good. I've been preparing for my trip to Canada, and I was very impressed to go to Netflix last night and see that they had The Godfather Part 2, and the Coda on there as well. That's some incredible films. I got to check see if they have The Hustler. It's the first time since when I first got Netflix, because I like my physical media, but Netflix has taken the place of cable for me, right? Back in the day, I'd have like Super Channel, like which or our first choice was like a Canadian like movie channel. Uh, I don't have that anymore, but the one that I can still get for that is like Netflix. So I'm always excited when they do, when they work with Scorsese or something like that, and or when they like show older films like The Godfather. We do need more physical media, and Australia does it really well. Imprint, it's great. Umbrella, of course. I can't say enough good stuff about Umbrella. I work with them. Um, yeah, with my good friend Jake, we met. You spearheaded getting us into that set. And hopefully, we'll get onto more. Cool, and looks such good. What we have here is a failure to communicate. Let's look at some of the potentials here. You can see the latest stuff that came out. It's come out as a Western bundle pack. It's got the Magnificent Seven collection, which we'll see in a second there, along with the Tales of the Wild West collection, Volume 1. And the Wild West Magnificent Seven collection, we got the 4 films there: Magnificent Seven, The Return of the Seven, Guns of Magnificent Seven, and Magnificent Seven Ride. The Tales of the West one, we get like 5 films. We got 3 Violent People, Tin Star, Nevada Smith, The Professionals, and Waterhole 3. Tales of the Wild West is a spin-off set from the Tales of Adventure series. I'm glad, actually. I had heard about that. The ones that excite me are some right here from March, my birthday month, actually. Especially this one right here. I still have the first one, which I really do have to get down the road. But this is City Limit Volume 2 from 1978 to 1999. And there's some really good films here. It's a 5-disc box set. We start off with The Wiz, which got a Criterion 4K. Go to Daniel, A Stranger Among Us. I can't remember seeing that movie. Critical Care, and Gloria. 5 extremely different films from extremely different genres. Critical Care and Gloria are getting worldwide Blu-ray debuts for the very first time. I was going to pick up the 4K The Wiz, but this set here may have changed my mind on that. I really like Critical Care, by the way. I really did like that film. And Gloria has always been a favorite of mine. I've always loved this film. And of course, it in itself is a remake of Cassavetes' film. I also got a John McKenzie directed by set here, and this is the first one from McKenzie. Of course, did The Long Good Friday, which is an absolutely stunning film. Look at that there. Look at the gorgeousness of that set. And Long Good Friday would be where we'd see a young Pierce Brosnan, actually. Got the Honorary Consul here from 1983, The Fourth Protocol from 87, and Ruby from 1992. Its worldwide Blu-ray debut. For me, the best film out of all these is definitely going to be The Long Good Friday. Though I really do think that The Fourth Protocol has been severely underrated over the years. It was actually a thing on the career of Frederick Forsyth, the author of The Fourth Protocol, that I'm actually really intrigued by, because I love like author-centric featurettes. I'll check in the. I got the Arrow video edition of The Long Good Friday, which is the only reason I don't have the Criterion or this one. I do want this set, so. Hey, Ken, welcome, man. I know Horror of Dracula 4K confirmed for this year. It'll be another Curse of Frankenstein level release. It means you'll probably have a special bonus disc on there. I won't have to go through England to get that one as well. There's one other set here, but it's the one from like the previous month, I think. One that I really want. I want True Colors. With John Cusack and James Spader. I really love that film. Racing the Moon is coming out. Some of the single releases are actually really good now. Did I hit the wrong thing? I bloody well did. The set that came in January that I really want to grab eventually is James Whale set. I love the way that nowadays they're like you get to see things so far ahead of time. As for like the Criterions that are coming out the month that I'm going to Canada, since I should get there on like February the 7th, on February the 10th, February the 3rd, right before I get there, 310 Yuma 4K comes out. That's the original, not the remake. On February the 10th, Criterion will be bringing out John Cassavetes' A Woman Under the Influence. Of course, that's part of the Cassavetes box set, but if you want to just get that film on its own. We have the Jacques Tati Playtime here, and I think is that a 4K upgrade or is that like this one is a 4K upgrade. If you just want the Blu-ray though, it's on the Tati set. We got a Cloud coming on the 17th, which I think is a Japanese contemporary. Correct me if I'm wrong about that. Kiyoshi Kurosawa. We're also getting a new Eclipse one, Lubitsch Musicals. Wouldn't mind having that actually. On February 24th, Network comes out on 4K, as is the Coen Brothers, The Man Who Wasn't There. We got Viridiana coming out on March 10th on 4K. Testament and Classe Touriste are coming out on the, why did I say it like that? On March 17th. And then I'll be back here by the time the 24th, I was around hopefully. And I'll be just missing out on Killers of the Flower Moon, and on my birthday, Claude Lelouch's A Man and a Woman. Zuhark's The Blade comes out, and then goes into I love me some Coen Brothers, guys. There's a lot of great announcements. 2026 is off to a great start, isn't it? Like when it comes to like films anyway. The Man Who Wasn't There does not get enough like play. Nobody talks about it. And the fact that they're putting it out and giving it that type of banger release, I think it's, if it's all possible for them to do, I think it's a given. 80th anniversary. I said we'll get a new, probably the box art will be different or put in digipack, and like they did with the Wages of Fear, right? When they upgraded like Wages of Fear to a 4K release, they gave it a brand new artwork, which I actually really adore. I love the new artwork for Wages of Fear. So much so that I was only going to get the Blu-ray edition of it, right? But I want the new artwork. What kind of man are you? This year in the cult, we will really be looking heavily on what I consider some really great pure cinema. We'll be talking about Criterion a lot on here, Imprint, Kino Lorber. We'll be focusing on companies like that, Hammer Films, with their releases are absolutely fantastic. Well, Lone Wolf and Cub, I think, is good to wait. I don't know if we need a 4K for Lone Wolf and Cub, Ken. And me personally, Sweet Smell Success, I could definitely see. You know what? I gotta ask because I think Ken or Chris would know this. Actually, maybe Vengeance too as well. Does anybody know much about the Wilt Stillman collection? Like 3 that was put out. Look, it's trilogy, right? That says Glasgow, Barcelona, and the third one's like. But And you put it on like in a set, like less than $100 actually, or the three of them, which actually is a banger, great price point for that. And I don't have those three. And I know I really like Chloe Sevigny too. She's in one of the films, at least one of the films. Kate Beckinsale knows one of them too. Barcelona is usually one people know, right? Then there's the other two are lesser known. Metropolitan's the other one. Metropolitan, Last Days of Disco, and Barcelona. But nobody talks about it. I haven't seen any unboxings of it. I haven't seen anybody like talking about it. I gotta see what month it is. Maybe I'll go back and look at like Dice Daisuke's like videos because he should talk about that in 20 and 21st as well. It is still something. I think we need that upgraded before we go to the Lone Wolf one. Probably has to be on Criterion. There's so many great things that come up for Criterion. The Criterion is like really open the perimeters of some of the stuff that they can put out. So I'm always excited now to see what Criterion is going to release. With the relaunch of the Eclipse series now on Blu-ray instead of DVD, the Janus Contemporaries line that they're doing, and the Criterion line, which includes like a mixture of films new to the collection as well as significant upgrades. In a lot of cases, when Criterion does a 4K, it is a significant upgrade. One of the ones that isn't apparently, I don't know, don't have it, is Breakfast Club. Which I'll probably just get the Blu-ray of, unless it's on sale. Sometimes the 4K will go on sale for less than the Blu-ray cost. That's happening now on Amazon. Always when you go in and check, just check to be sure because sometimes that'll happen. Now with Anora, the Sean Baker film, the Blu-ray release is like $20 cheaper than the 4K. So I'm kind of really leaning towards getting Anora in Canada. I want to go there and probably just get the Blu-ray release. I like to get the other Sean Baker films as well. I like to get Takeout, I like to get Prince of Broadway as well. I want to pick up some of the big releases from last year if possible. You know, Sorcerer's out. The Big Heat. I got a 4K last year, as did Nightmare Alley. Trouble in Paris was a Criterion announcement for you. It was a great announcement. And like you, I mean, you're Ernst Lubitsch people, so Life of Brian was one for me too. I was really shocked by that actually, because that went from a DVD straight up to like a 4K. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know much about Bygone's Resurrection. I know that I think you did make it to the thing, and I only did a short live. You're in 2021st live stream, which I wanted to get on, like chat with too. But I came in late for that one because there's some cats that I had to run to get the cat. Criterion did take suggestions. I think, yeah, I would always suggest like let them, like message them, let them know. I haven't heard anything. Now this year I haven't heard as much as I normally hear. Now sometimes, like, I'll be honest with you, Ken, if I had heard something that I couldn't tell you, I'd just say I hadn't heard anything. But in this case, it's true. I haven't heard anything. With the stuff like that, like the Universal said, and like stuff like that, yeah, I like the horse that came up from, it's coming up from, from Umbrella. I obviously sat on that information for over a year. Well, about 8 months. Gold Rush should be, yeah, actually, Gold Rush should be ripe for a 4K if it's possible to get it done this year. I am excited about literally Point Blank. I'm very excited about John Singleton's Hood trilogy. I love those films, and I second Immense Society as well. Both the good and bad thing for me right now is I start a year of like collecting Criterion and like films, like companies of that ilk. I want to watch some really good cinema. I really want to watch some really good cinema this year. I want to like dive into that. I watched a bunch of stuff that I won't say it's not good. It just wasn't doing anything for me, for my cinematic soul. I guess the best way to put it. And I got one day, I wasn't feeling great. I was feeling under the weather. I was missing, like, I was a little homesick as well. I took it the Columbia Classic set. And I put on Last Picture Show. And then I put on To Serve With Love. And I was transformed. I could feel like the quality of the films, s- especially Last Picture, which is a favorite of mine, by the way, just infusing me, invigorating me. And that was exactly that second right there that I knew what this year was going to be. I knew what I wanted to focus on. I love my films, my horror films, my cheesy, fun stuff, my expectation stuff. It's great stuff. But I grew up in Canada in a small fishing village. We had one channel, CBC. I was raised on CBC late night at the movies, where I got to see classic Universal horror, Hammer films, uh, Crawford, Betty Davis, Jean Garfield, Paul Mooney. Those are the type of films I grew up with. Those are the things that I adored, that I watched over and over again. When it came time for me to get a Columbia House, because everybody had to get the Columbia House Video Club, right? What did I do right away? I grabbed Shout It Out from Alfred Hitchcock, one that I watched on TV so many times. I picked up Rope as well, two of my favorite Hitchcock films. And I found myself going more and more towards noir, the earlier stuff. I desperately want to grab things like Arsenic No Lace, Cary Grant classic, by the way. Targets would be nice for. I got a nice release of Targets in France, so I wouldn't have to upgrade that one. But for people that don't have it, definitely Targets is a wonderful film. What's Up, Doc? I've still got on DVD. The Kino one of that one. I'll see if I can figure out what that is. Found the opera, but he had three eyes. Laser Blast. I remember renting that VHS back in the day. Yeah, I grew up on all westerns, Humphrey Bogart films. I remember being really young and sitting down to watch White Heat for the first time. It's such a vivid memory. Um, White Heat like really stood out. Another one stood out that I remember like that moved me to tears that I cried when I was young was Angels with Dirty Faces. That wrecked me as a kid. That wrecked me when like James Cagney is being brought out for to get the chair basically. He's being um, and he looks at the kids and he well not to give away the ending from a film that old, but yeah, it wrecked me. Such a wonderful film, and that's what I want to get back to. The type of cinema, the type of films that truly made me fall in love with movies, that made me fall in love with cinema. It was sitting up late at night, trying to keep quiet, but still eat my snacks as my grandparents slept, letting myself get whisked away by Dracula and the Invisible Man, by the Frankenstein and his bride, sitting back and watching Horror of Dracula, Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde. Thrilling when CBC Late Night did a Joan Crawford or a gangster or noir week, making sure I stayed up for every one of those. And when we eventually got a VCR, buying a blank tape, which cost me like quite a bit at the time, and taping the CBC Late Night films there. It's a wonderful time. As I get older, I'll be 55 this year in March, end of March. Um, I find myself wanting to like relive those incredible cinematic experiences. And that's why this year is the year of the cinephile for me. That's why I'm going to be diving back into movies like this. Why I want to watch Bedtime Story with Marlon Brando and David Niven's. Why I'm excited to check out The Night That's a Thousand Eyes for the first time in a few years. And to see all that Carol Baker said, especially Harlow. Those are the type of films that feed my cinematic soul. The type that I love, that I watch over and over again. At this point, I have 7 Criterions waiting for me right now. Showcase review. I love the showcase review, man. I find like a lot of foreign films on the showcase review. Like a lot of like Antonio Banderas, but the different type of Antonio Banderas films. Yeah, I got 7 Criterions waiting right now, and more, hopefully, on the way before this weekend's. I'm trying to have 9 or 10 criterions to unbox and show you guys when I get to Canada, day one. That's before the hunting. I got some pretty lofty plans and goals. Hopefully, they'll come through. Cronenberg's Crash. Fantastic film. I got the Arrow edition of that one. Criterion did a great version of that one too, by the way. But I went for the Arrow edition. Like just one, the bigger box, right? By the way, these boxes are huge, aren't they? Why did I get so enamored with these like film focus box sets and these direct-to-buy sets? I gotta get fantastic. I gotta get Roaring Twenties. I love that film, by the way. And speaking of like a CFC late night film, Ken, that's definitely one of them. The Criterion one's gorgeous cover. But see, these here remind me of a different era in collecting. And a lot of you guys that are older like me will know this. Hold on a second. I'll show you. See, the Imprint sets are a nice upgrade from these here. I think what I'm most excited about, and I do have the Spanish edition, is Fright Night 2, which I will grab the new one of. Probably Night 2 eventually as well. But these here Signature Series sets that were put out back in the day. This is a great one, by the way. We got Pat and Mike, Adam's Rib, Woman of the Year, and of course, the Spencer Tracy Legacy. I need to upgrade these every film on the set. I'm actually nervous about looking at the set right now because I'm worried that it's going to be one of those disc rod issues. Because these aren't just older ones. These are the snapper cases, my friends. I know that there's absolutely a banger edition from Criterion to this one right here. And I love Woman of the Year. Fantastic film, by the way. I'm pretty sure the Woman of the Year released by Criterion includes this. Let's see if these things stood the test of time. They are Warner Brothers releases. I think we're good. Catherine had great legs, didn't she? Could use some feature settings right now. How do you put it in moves like Adam's Rib and like have no features on it? One of the Year for a while was on sale on Amazon for $30, $38. I love these sets, but I'm starting to notice they didn't spend a lot of time in the production value of these. I love this movie. Ooh. There might be a scratch on that. I'm definitely upgrading this one, by the way. Disney releases the 67 Spider-Man. There's actually some issues with that happening. I'll explain it in a second, actually. See, the 67 Spider-Man I grew up with, by the way, Ken. If they can, there were some rights issues. That's why the Spider-Man set came and went like so quickly when it initially came out. Man, when I had these initially, you know, these were like the bee's knees. Nothing could be a signature set for them. Like, it was just the greatest Warner Bros. Sets. Yeah, this is pretty much in short. I'm going to grab the Ornament of the Year if it goes on sale. There's supposed to be a Criterion flash sale in February. Last year, I think the year before, there was a 24-hour like Criterion flash sale in February, which I'm hoping to avail of because I want to get a set, like a big set for my 55th birthday. But right now they've risen in price since we did the video on Amazon. It's that. The CC40 set. Hope you saw the video that I looked at. It went from $600 to close to $800 to being over $1,000 now on Amazon. I don't care what the set is. They're worth $1,000. Come on. Have it here. It's a re-release of this set right here. Hey, Richard, welcome, man. This is an amazing set, by the way. We had to get ours through, I think we got this one through eBay. Of course, it comes with the snazzy booklet. Spider-Man. Da, 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 da. I still got the paper thing that guy put in there. It's an absolutely gorgeous set, by the way. Introduction by Stanley. Excelsior, true believers. Excelsior. I'd love to see they get a Blu-ray upgrade. I don't think Spider-Man would 67 would ever warrant a 4K upgrade. Just gonna see that happening. I love the aesthetics of these sets, by the way. This brand new one is just it's gorgeously done. Until I had this in my hands, though, I was very underwhelmed with the look of the John Farrow set. Then I actually saw the color of it, the films, the production of it. It's pretty amazing. Last but definitely not least, the wonderful Carol Baker set. Stunner. Look at that picture right there. What a perfect pitch for this box. Imprint, you've impressed me. You want to see me just going over these and see me unboxing these when I got these because they were wrapped extremely well. I'll be putting a video this week when I did my initial wrapping of these 3 sets. But as Omar from Near Mint Condition would say, and that, as they say, is that. My name is Aaron. It's 1:31 here in Morocco, and I'm going to go grab some. I was going to get a tea, but I got like got to buy some canned milk tomorrow. So I'm nursing a cola, 0, of course, because I'm almost 55. I got to be careful of the sugars. I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight here in the cult as we continue with the year of cinema. For those that are unaware, we'll be looking a lot at Criterion and Imprint and companies like that, and Kino and those throughout the rest of 2026. I am traveling to Canada in February, and I'll be taking you guys along with me for that trip where we're going to be doing some out and about, some live shows, some unboxings, and a whole lot more. I'm excited to actually go and dive into this. So make sure that you check this out. Daisuke's channel is incredible, and so is 20 and 21st. So if you're into Criterion, like definitely look at their channels. They do incredible stuff with that. We've got a lot of great people working on that. Brian from Majestic Disc as well as some amazing stuff, and dives into these releases. He's got the same type of passion that I do. I've been on his podcast a few times. Love to go back on there actually. So Brian, if you ever see that, shout out. Get me back on. I'd love to chat sometime on some stuff. It's late. So guys, I'll see you next time here in the cult. And I think I'm going to go, I think I'm going to dive into the John Farrow documentary for a bit. I'll let you know how it goes. What happened to you guys? I can review these sets once they're all done. Just give me time to soak it in. My name is Aaron. This has been the cult. I like to say it's time for tea, but it's not. It's time for cola. I would love to have some tea, but I'm out of canned milk. So see you next time. Have a great evening and watch a good film.